that's a great segue. Let's talk about resiliency, because again, I think episodes like this underscore the need for sophisticated resiliency planning right across the industry. So I'll put this out to the group. So what are we seeing from a resiliency perspective, trends in resiliency? How are energy and utility companies enhancing their resiliency, and to avoid, disasters, so to speak, at a basic level of delivery of services to, a company cannot function. So what are we seeing?
So one thing that I know the utilities are focusing a lot on is for the OT side, whether it's a mobile transformer or quickly getting in to get some of those pieces repaired if they need to swap them out. The other piece is staggering the way you roll out technology. So when you roll it out, even in your corporate network, you should stagger it layers, so you shouldn't blast everything out at once. But the same thing when you get into the OT network. You need to test their unique devices. Some of them can't handle some of these technologies. Some of them can't get updates on a regular basis. But making sure you're staggering these things to when you roll out, and then understanding how you can recover each type of technology, which historically the OT teams are very diligent at ensuring they know what their business recovery plan is and how they can recover and how quickly they can recover.
I would add,
Alex,
I've been in utilities for 10 years now, but that in many circles considers me an outsider. So as an outsider, one thing that I've noticed is that resiliency is a cultural thing in utilities. I mean, it's beat into you, I think, on the first day that the power has to be on when you flip the switch. Utilities help each other after a storm to restore power. I think what this shows is that we don't understand some of the resilience issues. John used the word sophisticated resilience plans. Let's focus on that word sophisticated. These are not well understood relationships and interdependencies, and I think that's where we have to work. Unfortunately or fortunately, depending on, and maybe I'll let Dennis talk about this because I know him and I share this belief, is it's all about the fundamentals, right? So resiliency is probably not the most exciting topic, but obviously very important.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, same. Alex, definitely. Thanks for that segue. Is as things are moving forward, that's what. As we go back to looking at the resiliency side on this one, once again on the CrowdStrike, is if that it had impacted a major energy sector customer and brought down their phone lines and their help desk and everything else, especially for their customers calling in during like a barrel that hit Texas, a few weeks ago, or some other major, environmental catastrophe that may be going on, and they couldn't get outage information out to their customers, out to the press and others, then we would definitely be talking a little bit different about the focus on that resiliency, and that is where it's going from. It's really not, once again, didn't cross over to the OT side, but they are looking at, as you say, Alex says, the key is, having your systems up, having that resiliency, keeping the lights on. And so those conversations are even increasing, and it's just one more thing that they're having to look at. And it goes back to the supply chain, right? Is really, have all the businesses really done an effective business impact analysis, looking at which ones are key, how they're baked into their systems, what rights do they have, whether it's exchanging customer data or even getting down into areas like this where they can do automatic updates. And then do we have a backup plan, even if it's paper? And then how do we recover from that? Over.
I know from a cybersecurity and a CISO's perspective, right, there's been a trend over the past few years to consolidate tools, simplify your tooling environment to reduce cost and complexity, but to increase and enhance security posture. Do you think starting last Friday, those conversations within the security organization and frankly in the C-suite have sort of pivoted to say, hey, is that in fact the right strategy? Are we leaving ourselves vulnerable to, single points of failure? Is those conversations happening? Alex, I'll